All right, guys, so I'm starting from the beginning, from the jump skis. So, okay. I'm gonna let you guys know that I'm drinking a Puerto Rican rum that I bought at duty free for $15. And it's so good and it's so sweet. Ah, man. Anyways, I'm gonna show you guys the bottle. I'm gonna insert it. Just give me a second here. So that's what I'm drinking in here. So it's also curing my little sore throat that I have here, darling. Alrighty, so I'm gonna start. I don't have much light, so I'm just gonna do part one, and then after I'm gonna continue with part two and keep going. So, as you know, I went to Trinidad and Tobago for Carnival, and what a great time! But I decided to tell my followers from the beginning, like a story time, how it all went, right? So I went on the Epic Carnival cruise, which boarded in San Juan, Puerto Rico. So my journey was I flew to Toronto first because I was meeting the homie, my homie Tasha. Hey, that's who I went with. I was meeting her in Toronto, and then after that, we were flying to San Juan. We flew American Airlines, and here's where the story begins. So American Airlines is known to be one of the best flight carriers ever. Not for me, okay? Not for me. American Airlines, you guys need to do better. You really need to do better. Okay, guys, so my suitcase, it was pink, obviously, because pink is my favorite color. And so I got this nice suitcase, paid X amount of dollars for it. I was filling it before I even left Montreal, right? Because, you don't want to forget anything on these trips once you're going on a cruise. In all transparency, it was my first cruise, so I didn't want to miss anything. With the Epic Carnival cruise, which is cool, you know what you're going to do. There's Casino Royale night, which I'll tell you guys about. There's all white night. There's flag party. There's spinny, all kinds of things, right? Excuse me going, because my voice is still whatever. Like I told you, I'm drinking the rum to clear the what's up, Okay, so there's all that. So there's an after you're going to parties, and the parties have themes. Private Ryan's party was a rose theme. Brunch and Soca was red because it's Valentine's Day. And when we went to Trinidad, it was around Valentine's Day. So you gotta dress the part. So anyway, my suitcase, nice and pink, 42 pounds. I weighed it as I took the train to Toronto. So I weighed it, and everything was fine. My suitcase was intact. We went to the airport, after going to Toronto, whatever. We check the bags, pay for the bags. So one thing I noticed, I'm not sure what happened, but Tasha lives in Ontario. I live in Quebec. When we went to check our bags, because you have to pay for your luggage or whatever, for Tasha it was $35, and for me it was $40. We still don't know why that is. I do believe it's a province thing. I'm not 100% sure, but that was one of the differences with American Airlines. We had different prices for the luggage. Okay, cool. I paid whatever I needed to pay. That's all right. And then after at Pearson Airport in Toronto, it's self-assist. The dollar store where you have to self-checkout? Well, it's the same thing. The same thing at Pearson Airport. I'm just like, okay, I know a lot of people have complaints about Pearson Airport, and I completely understand why. I get it. But you have to put your bag in the bag check by yourself. Might as well get a shift at the airport while you're at it, no? Anyway, so I do that. 4 wheels. 4 wheels. Okay, there were 4 wheels on my suitcase at that point. So we're there. We're about to board. We're waiting. We actually have some breakfast at the Toronto airport, which cost us $30 American. Okay. Another thing, okay? Because when you're in the airport, of course, you're doing, a border security check. Make sure you have all your papers intact. Tell them where you're going, all that stuff. But it's like after you cross one side of the airport, it's already the USA, and you didn't even physically enter the USA yet. But hey, I digress. We had breakfast in the airport, okay? Pearson Airport. $28 plus a tip. So it was $30 for breakfast in the airport. And I was just kind of like, And the portion was small. Actually, I'm going to insert it here so you can see. So you can see that was no aloe, mon coco, and like that. You can see that this was no patinos. Like, really, guys? Like, what, $30? We ate it anyways. It's fine. All is fine. All is well. But what's cool is, like, we're actually sitting right next to where we needed to board, so it wasn't far. And because if they needed to call our names, we were right there. So finally, it's time to board. Yay. Great. We now board this plane. We're sitting there, we're waiting. We're sitting there, we're waiting. American Airlines, eh? Again, they need to really do better. There's something with American Airlines that just needs some improvement in terms of the staff, in terms of the way that they handle things. American Airlines, you got to do better. You guys are such a big name. Anyway, we're waiting on the tarmac for so long, guys, almost an hour, to find out that we need to deplane because of the snow that fell when we were actually boarding. So a lot of snow fell in Toronto by the time we were going to go to Miami and then after to go to San Juan, Puerto Rico, right? So we needed to deplane. Deplaning, if you fly a lot, you know deplaning takes about a good hour and a half because everyone's slowly taking their bags away from the top shelf and all that. It takes long to deplane. So we wait, we deplane. Whatever. Then after that, they're telling us that we might need to reschedule the flight. There's a delay because there's a technical difficulty. We'd rather you guys be safe than sorry. Okay, so then after they're like, there's people on the floor who's going to actually help you reschedule your flight. My friend and I are like, wait a minute, we're going to be late to Puerto Rico? What? Why? Why are we going to be late? So we're out there standing in a line. I only have 4 minutes left. They're telling us, okay, you might be a little bit late, but we may have another plane for you, blah, blah, blah. Okay, no problem. We're standing in this line another hour, guys. Again, American Airlines. I don't know what happened. I understand that safety first, guys, but shouldn't we have done the safety check before we left? I digress. Finally, did we get to the front and they're like, oh, if you have a connection at, what was it? Because our connection was at 2:30 or 3, something like that. If you have a connection at 2:30 or something like that, you are okay, so you can get out the line. Of course, people don't listen. So they're like, well, what do you mean? Some people who had a connection that was before 2:30 or even way later in the nighttime, they were like, but what do you mean? Like, what do you mean? If you have a connection at 2:30, like, vamos, keep it moving. But people are concerned, they're tired. And they just don't listen. They just don't listen. Anyway, long story short, we now are told that, we can get back on the plane because they brought another one. So I'm like, yay, good, they brought another one, great. So we get back on this plane, same seats, everything. Everybody keeps the same seats, all is good. The new one, okay, it's cool, it's clean, all that stuff, everything is great. We get on now, and then after, the pilot says, okay, ladies and gentlemen, we don't have enough fuel for this plane, so we're going to wait for the fuel to come. Right? So we're like, oh, good mercy, heavens, fine. We're going to wait. No problem. So Tasha and I are there. We're waiting. Dee, 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 dee. Honestly, another hour and a half goes by for the pilot to come back on and say, yeah, well, folks, we didn't get the fuel that we needed. So we're just going to fly on what we have. Oh, the anxiety. Hold on. I said, Isoka is my therapist. Yeah. The anxiety that came over myself. I started to cry. I'm not even going to lie to you guys. I started to cry. How are you telling me that we're going to fly on what we have? Oh, okay, it doesn't sound very safe, And already too, I think I started crying too because I also am very afraid of flying. Everybody who knows me knows that. I know I can't walk to Trinidad. I know I can't walk to San Juan, Puerto Rico. I know that, right? So we flew on what we had, which was quite scary. We got to Puerto Rico, and they were very good in terms of switching us, which was fine. There was no delay in that, right? There was no delay in switching the connection. What happens is, too, when American Airlines switches or where there's a delay, they send you an email. So it's good to register your email, your proper email with them so that you know what's happening. So that was good. Now we get over to Miami now. Everything's okay. They're like, okay, you guys got to wait. I thought I was going to eat in Miami after all that delay. I didn't eat nothing. We went straight to San Juan, Puerto Rico. Wow. It didn't take no time. We even tried to do our little jump over video. That didn't work. But after all the delay with American Airlines in Toronto Airport, we finally landed in Puerto Rico. And you see, I put a video up next to Bad Bunny. And it was perfect timing because the Super Bowl had just happened. So we got to Puerto Rico finally. Puerto Rico is dark, you guys. It's a beautiful place in the daytime, but there's not a lot of streetlights in Puerto Rico. But their menu at Wendy's is very different, honey. It was very good. I'm not going to lie about that. But my only takeaway from this, I only have a few more minutes before I go, then I'm going to do another part, is make sure you can try to find another airline than American Airlines because they still have some improvements to do. And give your correct email so you can get all the updates. Part 2 coming up soon.